So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
After Brick Baby got arrested by federal agents and faced a federal indictment, he did something unexpected. He allegedly snitched on Lil Durk, saying that Durk was involved in the attempted murder of Quando Rondo and the murder of El Pap. On a show, Brick Baby shocked everyone when he said, "I guess they cannot say OTF did not slide for King Von." This statement sent the internet into a frenzy and made the tension between people even worse. As more OTF members were getting arrested, Brick Baby quickly became the center of attention. Things got even more heated when members of the Rollin' 60s started accusing Brick Baby of betraying Quando Rondo in Los Angeles. Now, both the streets and the courts are waiting to see what happens next. People started asking if Brick Baby really snitched on Lil Durk. Here's what we know. Brick Baby was arrested in connection with a Rollin' 60s RICO trial. However, the big talk is that in court, Brick Baby started talking about Lil Durk's possible involvement in the murder of El Pap, a friend of Quando Rondo. The official documents suggest that Brick Baby is now a key witness in the case, and many believe he may have helped the authorities make a case against Lil Durk. Rumors are saying that Brick Baby is trying to get his own charges dropped. To do this, he allegedly gave the authorities a detailed story about Lil Durk's role in El Pap's death. He said that the murder happened as revenge for King Von's death. According to Brick Baby, at that time, Quando Rondo and Lil Durk were having a very public fight. This feud started after a member of Quando's group shot and killed an OTF rapper on November 6, 2020. Things are getting more complicated for Brick Baby as both the courts and the streets are closely watching him. Devin Bennett, also known as King Von, tragically lost his life in 2020. Since then, the situation has only gotten more complicated. The latest twist involves Brick Baby and whether or not he snitched on Lil Durk. Music executive Wack 100 recently spoke up, especially after Durk's arrest last year. Wack claimed that Brick Baby had been talking to the feds the entire time. Wack said that when the authorities first looked into the attack on Quando Rondo, they thought it was just a bad drug deal. But once Brick Baby started talking, everything changed. Wack highlighted that Brick Baby's comments were important, especially when he said, "I guess they cannot say OTF did not slide for King Von." This made people question whether Brick Baby had already talked to the feds about Durk before. If you think this is the first time Brick Baby has been involved in something like this, you are wrong. Remember when the feds raided Brick Baby's house and arrested him for a gun charge? Wack 100 revealed that the gun charge was just a cover. The feds were actually after Brick Baby because of Lil Durk's case. During the raid, they found an AK-47, and they used this to pressure Brick Baby into talking. Wack explained the timeline of events. In February 2023, Brick Baby allegedly snitched on Lil Durk during an interview with Flacco. Then, in March 2023, the feds started watching Brick Baby closely. By June 2023, they raided his house and took his phone, where they found the gun. Even though Brick Baby was charged with having an illegal firearm, the case was mysteriously dropped after Lil Durk was arrested. Wack believes that the most important detail here is that Brick Baby's phone connected the feds to Lil Durk's involvement in the murder of Quando Rondo's friend, El Pap. After King Von died, the streets were already buzzing with the idea that Durk would seek revenge. But it was Brick Baby's actions that pushed things even further. In 2022, Quando Rondo's SUV was attacked in Los Angeles. While Quando survived, El Pap, a close friend, lost his life. At first, it seemed like an isolated event, but when Brick Baby began talking about it in interviews, things started to connect. He even hinted that Lil Durk had ordered the hit on Quando as revenge for King Von's death. Brick Baby did not hold back when he spoke about Lil Durk. He openly talked about how Lil Durk had been involved in the death of El Pap, claiming it was a way to get revenge on Quando Rondo for the murder of King Von. This is not something that should have been said in an interview, but Brick Baby seemed eager to share everything he knew. Fans were quick to criticize him for talking too much. One person even called him Snitch Baby for spilling all these details on the internet where everyone could hear it. Even though fans were upset, Brick Baby kept talking. He seemed proud to mention OTF's involvement in El Pap's murder. But when the feds charged Lil Durk and others in connection to the murder plot, Brick Baby looked shocked. He was on a live show when the news broke, and fans captured his reaction. He looked stunned, like he realized how much trouble his words had caused. For a moment, he could not say anything, but after a little while, he quickly tried to change the topic. This moment made fans question if Brick Baby really did not know what was coming. His surprise when the indictment came out made people think he might have known more than he let on. The indictment revealed that someone had given Lil Durk the location of Quando Rondo, and fans quickly started to wonder if Brick Baby was that person. After all, he had a close relationship with Quando Rondo, despite the tension between their groups. In an interview with Vlad TV, DJ Vlad asked Brick Baby directly about the rumors. Brick Baby denied everything, saying that if he were involved, he would not be able to speak so openly. He explained that his friendship with Quando Rondo was separate from the drama between their groups. He said that he and Quando had talked multiple times, and he kept their relationship away from all the beef.
Oh, there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here.
Even though Brick Baby denied being involved, many people still thought he had a role in it. Some believed that he used his connection to Quando Rondo to give Lil Durk important information about Quando's whereabouts. This theory became stronger after Quando Rondo publicly said he had been backdoored by someone in the Rolling 60s. Since Brick Baby was known to be a member of the Rolling 60s, people started thinking he might have been the one who gave up the information. When DJ Vlad asked him about these rumors, Brick Baby seemed confused and his answers did not make sense. This made fans even more suspicious as his reaction seemed unconvincing. The more Brick Baby spoke, the more people believed he might have been hiding something. When people were still trying to figure out who co-conspirator number 4 was, many fans thought they knew the answer, but Brick Baby quickly shut them down. He said that the world might think they had figured it out, but the truth was different. It seemed like he wanted to throw people off the trail. One person commented directly on Brick Baby, saying, "We see right through you, Brick Boy," which many fans found funny. Others joked that the whole interview was just Brick Baby's way of paying for his lawyer's fees. It looked like a lot of people were starting to believe that Brick Baby was actually co-conspirator number 4 and that he had snitched on Lil Durk. Some fans even called him a proud snitch and made fun of him for acting like his betrayal was something to be proud of. But Brick Baby was not the only one involved in this mess. Reports soon began to surface saying that Lil Durk had a snitch within his own group. The shocking part was that the person who betrayed him had been a close member of his team for years. This person, known as OTF Jam, had secretly worked with the authorities and gave them information that directly connected Lil Durk to the attempted murder of Quando Rondo, which led to the death of El Pap. The news about the betrayal from an OTF member spread quickly, and many people were shocked. OTF Jam had spent 12 years in prison for attempted murder, and when he was released in 2022, he received a lot of support from Lil Durk and his crew. Jam even got gifts and respect from OTF, with Durk showing him loyalty. But behind the scenes, Jam had been secretly gathering evidence against Durk by wearing a wire. This betrayal was even more surprising because it turned out that Jam had been working with the authorities for years, collecting information on OTF's criminal activities. Once the news came out about OTF Jam's betrayal, people started wondering how he had been able to hide the wire for so long. Some fans joked that he hid it in his large forehead, while others pointed out that technology had moved past the old-school wire. They suggested that modern devices, like voice recorders or even smartphones, could serve as the wire these days. In an interview with DJ Vlad, music executive Wack 100 discussed the situation. He talked about how crazy it was that OTF Jam had been released from prison after 12 years, only to flip on Lil Durk. Wack said Jam had been celebrated by OTF and treated like a hero, with Durk even buying him cars and giving him money. But in the end, Jam had betrayed everyone. Wack's comments were a reminder that loyalty in the streets is not always guaranteed. An old interview with OTF Jam resurfaced around the same time. In the interview, Jam talked about his relationship with Lil Durk, explaining how Durk had supported him during his time in prison. He said Durk's music had kept him motivated and that Durk had helped him financially. This made the betrayal even harder to understand, leaving many people wondering how someone who had once been so loyal could turn against Durk and work with the authorities. The whole situation has left the hip-hop community in shock, and it seems like the drama is far from over. OTF Jam never directly mentioned working with the FBI to bring down Lil Durk, but when he talked about his time in jail, it was obvious he had a strong bond with Durk. He called Durk more than just a friend, he was family. That was bro, OTF Jam said, remembering how Durk had supported him even before the fame. He recalled Durk sending money for his lawyer fees, showing real loyalty, even when things were tough.
Stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's.
After OTF Jam got out of jail, rumors spread that Lil Durk had given him $50,000 to help him get his life back together. When OTF Jam was asked about this in an interview, he confirmed that it was true. "Yeah, that's real," he said. But not long after he returned to the OTF family, the shocking truth came out. OTF Jam had been secretly working with the authorities. This betrayal left everyone in shock. Durk never saw it coming. It is always painful when someone you trust turns on you, especially when it's someone who has been by your side for so long. It is very hard to notice a traitor when they have been involved in so many of your mistakes. It feels like a deep betrayal when someone you've trusted, like a childhood friend, turns their back on you. It is like in action movies where the villain is always the enemy from the start. No one expects loyalty from them. But when the betrayal comes from someone you trust, it feels much worse. While I was looking for updates on OTF Jam and why he turned on Durk, I came across something funny. A video showed OTF Jam eating McDonald's in what looked like an interrogation room. Fans quickly started making jokes, and internet trolls jumped in. DJ Academics also joined in, asking his followers to come up with funny captions for the image. One fan joked, "Bro snitched on Durk for a Big Mac and fries," while another added, "You're probably wondering how I got here." But the truth is, while fans were busy making jokes about OTF Jam, they didn't realize that Lil Durk had also shared things that could get him in trouble. After King Von's death, fans pushed Durk to take action and get revenge. Academics took advantage of this and asked Durk if the "slide for Von" comments bothered him. Durk, knowing the legal risks involved, kept quiet and did not say anything that could harm him. Academics kept pressing him, trying to get him to slip up, but Durk stayed smart and calm. Fans noticed the tension, though, and saw that even people who seem loyal can turn against you when you least expect it. For some reason, I just do not see those comments anymore. DJ Academic still brings up Lil Durk's lyrics from Nardo Wicks, Who Wants Smoke remix. In the song, Durk responds to the "slide for Von" comments by rapping, "They be on my page like slide for Von, I know they trolling me." Durk thought these comments were just trolling because he believed he had already done what they were talking about when he allegedly took action in the shooting of Quando Rondo's associate, Lil P.B., as revenge for King Von's death. However, Academics kept pressing Durk to talk more about it on his show, and it felt like Durk was avoiding the topic, maybe talking around it, while Academics kept pushing for more. Even though Durk tried to deny everything, after a lot of pressure from Academics, he finally let something slip. When asked about the comments, Durk said, "They kind of chilled out a little bit." Although this comment was subtle, it seemed like his way of admitting the truth without saying it directly. By 2024, everything started to make sense when Durk was arrested in connection to the 2022 shooting that killed Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil P.A.B. 5 people were arrested in connection to the shooting, and things began to fall apart. Federal agents came in and took these men into custody. They were charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire, allegedly as revenge for King Von's death. It looked like the murder was part of a larger plan that started with the tragedy at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta in 2020, which led to King Von's death. The authorities believed this was not just a random act, and they were searching for a way to link Lil Durk to the crime. The charges were very serious: murder for hire, conspiracy, and using a machine gun in a deadly crime. It seemed that the feds had found a connection between Durk and the murder, believing his OTF, Only the Family, label was not only a music group, but also a criminal organization. The indictment named several OTF members who were said to have been involved in the plot to kill Quando Rondo's cousin. This murder was believed to have been planned as revenge for King Von's death.
Sparse. And this is what I picked up on from speaking to my lawyers about the Yuri and Riley situation. And
this legal trouble also came on the heels of another controversy. In February 2025, just 1 month before his arrest, Adam got caught up in a cryptocurrency scandal. His involvement in a memecoin project on the Solana blockchain initially seemed promising, with the project's value shooting up from $500,000 to $4 million. However, it soon crashed down to just $100,000 when early investors sold their shares. Journalist Coffeezilla even claimed Adam 22 had misled his fans, calling it a pump and dump scheme. This controversy hurt Adam's reputation and added to his growing legal and financial problems. Despite all these challenges, Adam 22 still maintained a net worth of about $4 million as of early 2025. His wealth and several income sources, like the Plug Talk podcast with his wife Lena the Plug, helped him stay afloat. The Plug Talk podcast, which earned between $200,000 and $500,000 per month from OnlyFans subscriptions, could be the financial cushion Adam needs during these tough times. But even with all this money, the future of No Jumper looked uncertain. If Adam 22 faced serious legal consequences, it could hurt the platform he worked so hard to build. No Jumper was already dealing with financial struggles, lawsuits, and potential legal fees, which made many question whether he could keep things afloat in the long run. Looking forward, there are many questions that need to be answered. What would happen to No Jumper if Adam 22 faced legal issues? What would happen to Adam 22, his business, and everyone depending on him? To understand what might come next, we need to look at the bigger picture: Adam's career, his business, and how he deals with his legal challenges. This moment could change everything for Adam 22 and his media empire. The story around Adam 22 and No Jumper is much more complicated than it seems. While some people might think it is coming to an end, the truth is that there are many financial problems, legal battles, and changes still happening as of April 2025. Let us start by looking at No Jumper's money issues, which Adam himself has said could cause the company to go broke. The drop in viewership after the pandemic, losing their Instagram account, the departure of key hosts in 2023, and a big lawsuit from former employees have all made things harder. In response to these problems, Adam has had to make some tough choices to keep No Jumper running. This includes laying off staff, shutting down their Melrose store, and putting the warehouse up for sale. He is even thinking about moving to a smaller, cheaper office to save money. Adam is also looking for new ways to make money, like improving their YouTube membership tiers. But the most shocking part of the story is the lawsuit filed by Yuri, who used to be someone Adam mentored. Yuri's departure from No Jumper felt like a betrayal. He started off as someone just hanging around, but eventually became an editor and used the platform to build his own brand. After leaving to focus on his own streaming career, Yuri filed a lawsuit against No Jumper when things did not work out as planned. Even with all these problems, Flacco, who still works at No Jumper, had a different point of view. He said he would keep working for No Jumper even if he was not paid at all. He talked about how much value he sees in the platform, saying he moved to LA just for No Jumper and that it gave him the chance to grow. For him, what No Jumper stands for and its cultural impact mean more than the money. This shows how important No Jumper has become to some people, even though the company is struggling financially. When it comes to the lawsuit, different lawyers have different opinions. Adam has said that every lawyer he has spoken to thinks the lawsuit is just an attempt to get money. While we do not have all the facts about the case, Adam's statement adds another twist to the story. Adam also mentioned that Yuri and Riley may have broken their non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, by talking publicly about No Jumper. If that is true, Adam hinted that he might file a counter lawsuit. Another strange part of this situation is the involvement of Nicholas in the lawsuit. Adam did not even know that Nicholas had any role in managing No Jumper. This only adds to the confusion and makes it harder to know what is really going on. With all these legal issues and money troubles, it seems like No Jumper's future is unclear. However, some people still want to stay with the company, no matter the challenges. It is like watching a real-life story unfold, with unexpected changes and complicated relationships that can shift at any moment. The financial problems from the ongoing lawsuit are becoming a huge challenge for Adam 22 and No Jumper. Adam 22 has openly said that this legal battle has already cost them a lot of money, and it could end up costing hundreds of thousands of dollars to finish. This, combined with other difficulties No Jumper is facing, makes the future of the company very uncertain. However, it is important to understand that No Jumper's financial troubles are different from Adam 22's personal wealth. Despite what is happening with the company, Adam 22's personal net worth is around $4 million, and it could even increase to $4.1 million by the end of the year. His income from things like the Plug Talk podcast shows that Adam 22 is not struggling financially, even if his company is.
Either of them saying that they were unlawfully terminated. Think about this. She was terminated at the same...
Now, about the rumors of Adam 22's arrest related to a federal RICO case, the truth is still unclear. Some reports, including a statement from WAC 100, said that Adam 22 was arrested on March 26, 2025. But there has been no official confirmation and no charges have been made public. This has left people guessing about his involvement in the investigation. What is known is that federal agents visited Adam 22's house in connection to a RICO case involving Eugene Henley, who faces serious charges like racketeering and murder. The connection to No Jumper seems to be because of past appearances by co-hosts like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, who are now under investigation. Adam 22 has responded by trying to distance No Jumper from any illegal activity. He said that the platform has always been about giving people a positive path and real job opportunities. He believes that No Jumper is a way out of street life, not something that helps illegal actions. With all these legal troubles, the lawsuit, and the possible connection to the federal investigation, Adam 22 is facing more pressure than ever. However, as of early April 2025, there has been no official word that Adam 22 has been sentenced or is facing severe punishment. The stories suggesting that this is the end of his career seem too early to make. There are a few ways this situation could play out. One possibility is that Adam 22 solves both the lawsuit and legal issues with little lasting damage. In this case, the lawsuit from Yuri and Riley could either be thrown out or settled for a manageable amount. Also, any connection to the federal case could be seen as unimportant. This would allow Adam 22 to focus on rebuilding No Jumper, maybe by selling the company's property and reducing operations. Another possibility is that Adam 22 avoids serious legal consequences, but No Jumper faces too many financial problems to continue. This could lead to major changes, like selling or restructuring the company. Media personality DJ Vlad has even suggested that he might want to buy No Jumper, and Adam 22 jokingly responded with the idea of a hostile takeover. Even though this seemed to be a joke, it shows that No Jumper's future ownership could change. Finally, if Adam 22 cannot deal with all the financial and legal pressure, it could lead to big changes or even the end of No Jumper. No one knows exactly what will happen, but time will tell what direction Adam 22 and No Jumper will go in next. A more concerning scenario would be if Adam 22 faces serious legal consequences, either from the civil lawsuit, the federal investigation, or both. However, even in this situation, it is important to recognize that Adam 22 has shown a strong ability to recover throughout his career. He has faced many controversies and setbacks, but none of them have permanently damaged his platform. One factor that could make a big difference is Adam 22's ability to earn money outside of No Jumper. His Plug Talk podcast on OnlyFans, which reportedly makes between $200,000 and $500,000 each month, is a significant source of income that is separate from No Jumper's financial issues. This extra income could help protect Adam 22 if things go wrong with No Jumper. Looking past the immediate legal and financial problems, it is also important to consider how these events might affect Adam 22's legacy in hip-hop media. Since starting No Jumper, Adam 22 has played a big role in giving underground artists a platform and making sure voices that would not normally be heard in mainstream media get attention. Rolling Stone even called him a key tastemaker in underground hip-hop, recognizing his influence on the culture, even though he has a controversial reputation. If No Jumper fades or changes a lot, it could leave a gap in hip-hop media. Other platforms and personalities could step in to fill that space, and although this could be disruptive at first, it might lead to a more diverse and strong hip-hop media world in the long run, with several platforms sharing the influence No Jumper once had. For the former employees involved in the lawsuit against Adam 22, the future is also uncertain. If, as some Reddit users believe, the lawsuit is mostly about money because Yuri's streaming career is struggling, the outcome could have a big effect on their future in the industry. Winning the lawsuit might bring them financial relief, but could also make other companies hesitant to work with them because they might worry about more legal issues. On the other hand, if the lawsuit is unsuccessful, it could make their financial problems worse and damage their reputations in the industry. Only time will tell how things will unfold, but for now, it is clear that the outcome of these events will affect the future for everyone involved.